Mr. Transformers 96 here with another video, and we talk about a newly shown Transformers figure. This is a third-party Transformers figure from TungMung-EX, and this is the very first Transformers figure. They've done some third-party figures in the past. This is the first one Transformers-wise, though, and this is a masterpiece scaled Soundwave from Dark of the Moon. So this is quite exciting. Obviously, we don't really have a really good official Dark of the Moon Soundwave figure from Hasbro or Takara. They've made a deluxe and a Human Alliance one, and they're both good in their own way, but neither of them is exact. I think that the Human Alliance one is the closest. From the waist up, it's really good, but the legs are just awful, and the coloring isn't wonderful. And then the deluxe one has better proportions, but the coloring is really horrible. So overall, we do absolutely need a new Soundwave figure. This company has taken it upon themselves to deliver that figure and make it more accurate and in a scale that is probably or somewhat preferable to a collector. Making this masterpiece scale, first of all, just talking about the scale, I'm not super into that. I mean, it would work great for to have pictures of him fighting the masterpiece Bumblebee, which I do have. I think that they would look great together. But other than that, there's not any. Oh no, sorry. There's only one masterpiece Decepticon figure from the movies, and that's a Barricade. Other than that, there's not a single masterpiece Decepticon, so it's like, I mean, he's gonna look great fighting Bumblebee, but he won't look great in a collection with any other Decepticons. So that is unfortunate. But as you can see, his articulation from this stance looks pretty nice. He can obviously do the kind of landing punch. It looks like he has really good leg articulation and arms. It looks like pretty hindered at the torso and neck, though, at least from these photos. As you can see, this is an unpainted prototype, but he looks pretty nice. I do like the design, especially the torso or the chest. I think that looks pretty nice. You have the good Mercedes emblem. It looks like the front of the Mercedes car is on him. He does seem to have translucent pieces on his arms, like the clear ones for those kind of like Sonic areas. I hope that they're not translucent like when the final product is out. I hope that they're just sculpting them in translucent plastic, and that maybe just the centers of them are translucent or something. But I hope that the entire thing isn't translucent. That kind of looks a little cheap, I think. Here he is with the gun. I'm glad he comes with a gun. First Soundwave figure that actually comes with a proper gun, and considering he used it, you know, for that main battle. Now the face, looking at it like straight on like this, I'm not huge on the face. I think it has a bit of a cartoony look to it, and it's not super accurate, but I mean, it looks alright, but I just think that it's not quite there yet. Maybe with some paint it'll look better. It looks a little too rounded. I think it needs to be a little sharper and more oval-like. At least that's kind of how I remember him from the film. So, but overall, I do think that he looks pretty decent. He does come with a Soundwave figure, a Laserbeak figure, and I do actually like the Laserbeak figure. The detail in the tail and neck, it looks excellent. Articulation-wise, it's hard to see what he can articulate. I would guess he has like a ball-jointed thighs, ball-jointed neck, or sorry, maybe just a hinge neck, and then I would imagine a hinge back here, and then I'm sure there's some sort of hinge or ball joint at these 2 points, and then the arms will probably be on a hinge or something. I really like how sharp he is, though. I love the wings. The wings are extremely sharp. Again, though, they're translucent. I'm hoping that the wings aren't actually translucent, because they really shouldn't be, so that is an issue. I'm hoping that they're just sculpting in that, and that's not actually how he's going to be. Here's a nice little representation of him with Bumblebee. I don't know what they did with the coloring on these photos, but Bumblebee just looks so dull. They've obviously altered the coloring just on the photos, so who knows, maybe just like the prototype coloring of Shock or Soundwave looks really bad or something, so they wanted to make it look a little more just grayish. I'm not sure, but here's what you get with him. You get the figure, Laserbeak, and a gun. I wish he came with 2 guns, because if I'm not mistaken, he has 2 guns at one point. But you know, I do like the gun. The gun looks like it's sculpted really nicely, and it looks like exactly how it looked in the movie, which is nice. It just, like, I don't understand this position, though. Like, I mean, this thing needs to be pointed down a little bit more, and then his arm needs to be in, and his leg needs to be in a little bit. It's just like, why not position him nicely for the photo? But what are you gonna do? Here he is in the car mode. The car mode looks really good, and I love the fact that you can actually open up the doors. That's something that's not typical with Transformers figures, so that is very cool that you can do that, and it does look quite nice. So I'm happy about that. Another full body shot of Soundwave. I think it looks quite nice, and wider shot of that. And then here we go, we have the picture of him with Bumblebee. Scale-wise, I think it looks pretty perfect. He's, just slightly bigger than Bumblebee, the Masterpiece one, which is exactly what it should be, I think, in a Masterpiece scale, of course. So overall, I think that this looks like a nice figure. I'm hoping that with paint, it will look even better, though. I think that there are a little bit of issues. The arms can maybe be bulked up slightly. I think that the face is pretty good, but a little off. And then the torso looks like it is very limited articulation. But other than that, it looks like a solid figure. Of course, I can't testify for the quality of the studio or this company because they haven't made any other Transformer figures. So it's really hard to say the quality of the figure, and it's hard to say the price because obviously you can't compare what their last Transformers custom or last Transformers third-party items were cost-wise. So there's no way of knowing the cost. There's no release date information on this yet. We see third-party Transformer figures shown prototype stages quite often, and I feel like a lot of them don't ever make it to retail. We'll see about this one, though. I do hope that it does, but there's plenty of other third-party figures that I'd probably be a little more interested in than this one. However, I do think it looks nice. Just wish that it was in a different scale. Masterpiece is great and all, but again, I really wouldn't have anybody display them with it and have them to be in scale with, other than the heroes, which obviously, Shockwave really only has contact with Q and Bumblebee, basically. So overall, there you go. That's my thoughts on this new third-party Soundwave figure, Masterpiece scale. Let me know what you guys think of it, and thanks so much for watching.